It's Friday night. You are sitting at a table surrounded by people who like you. Maybe it's a dinner party, a bar, or just a living room hangout. The air is filled with overlapping conversations and bursts of laughter. Technically, this is the definition of having a life. But internally, you feel like you are watching the scene from behind a sheet of thick glass. You are smiling, you are nodding at the right times, and you are making the appropriate jokes. But there is a cold, hollow sensation in your stomach. You feel invisible. You might even check your phone just to briefly disengage from the performance. You feel a wave of guilt wash over you. You think, what is wrong with me? These are my friends. Why do I feel so exhausted? Why do I just want to go home and stare at the wall? If this resonates with you, you aren't ungrateful and you aren't antisocial. You are suffering from a very specific type of exhaustion known as masking fatigue. You are lonely because, while your body is in the room, you haven't actually arrived. By the end of this manual, we are going to figure out why your social software is draining your battery and how to finally connect without burning out. I used to believe that loneliness was a math problem. I thought that if I was alone in a room, my loneliness score was 100, and if I added 5 people to the room, the score would drop to 0. But over time, I've come to believe something much more complicated. I believe the sharpest, most painful kind of loneliness doesn't happen when we are alone. It happens when we are surrounded by people who only know a curated version of us. We are taught that to make friends, we need to be low maintenance. We need to be the listener, the entertainer, the one who is chill. We trade authenticity for palatability. I want you to know that the exhaustion you feel after socializing isn't a defect, it's a cost. It is the energy bill you are paying for maintaining a high-resolution projection of yourself. You aren't broken, you are just working incredibly hard to hide your glitches, and that effort is isolating you. Let's look under the hood. Why does interaction feel like labor? To understand this, we need to look at a hardware issue we'll call the emulator glitch. Think about a computer. When a computer runs its native operating system, it's fast and efficient. But imagine if you tried to run a complex program designed for a completely different system. You have to run an emulator, a layer of software that translates every command in real time. It works, but it eats up 90% of your RAM. The fan spins loud, the system overheats, and the battery dies in an hour. This is what you are doing socially. This is masking. You aren't just hanging out. You are running a high-intensity background process that is constantly scanning the room. You are analyzing micro-expressions, monitoring your tone of voice to sound breezy, and suppressing your actual impulsive thoughts. You are translating how I actually feel into what is acceptable to say. This creates a phenomenon called high-functioning loneliness. Your social emulator is so good that everyone thinks you are fine. But because the connection is happening with the emulator, not the hardware, you don't feel the recharge, you just feel the heat. Let's look at how this plays out in real life with an archetype we'll call the chameleon. The chameleon is often the most liked person in the group. They are flexible, agreeable, and funny. If the group is loud, the chameleon gets loud. If the group is serious, the chameleon becomes deep. But the chameleon has a secret fear. If I stop performing, they will leave. Because the chameleon constantly adjusts its colors to match the room, it never lets the room see its true color. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. When people give the chameleon compliments, "You're so easy to get along with," it doesn't feel good. It feels like a trap. It reinforces the idea that the mask is lovable, but the person underneath is not. The cost here is total detachment. The chameleon leaves the party feeling like they just worked an 8-hour shift, because technically they did. So how do we fix this glitch? How do we turn off the emulator without crashing the system? We need to lower the resolution of your projection. We need to introduce a tiny bit of friction to test the connection. We call this tool the 10% drop. Most people think being yourself means dumping all your trauma on the table at once. That's too much. Instead, I want you to drop the mask by just 10%. Here's the script. In your next conversation, share one small, unpolished thought. If you're tired, say, "I'm actually running on low battery today, but I wanted to see you guys." If you don't get a joke, instead of fake laughing, say, "I missed that. What do you mean?" If you disagree, say, "I actually see it a little differently." The cheat code is this: you must give people the chance to like the real you. By showing a small glitch, a moment of fatigue, confusion, or disagreement, you are testing if the connection is real. If they stay, you will feel seen. If they pull away, you saved yourself energy. Feeling lonely in a crowd is your body's way of telling you that you are starving for resonance, not just presence. It is telling you that the emulator is overheating. It is scary to turn the software off. It is scary to let people see the lag. But the only way to recharge your battery is to plug into a power source that fits your actual hardware. You don't need to be perfect to be connected. You just need to be there. I'll see you in the next manual. Let's keep the lights on.